Kia ora e te whānau, my name is Neen. I call myself the Joy Ninja because I'm just out here trying to create a sense of abundance on a smaller income. And I guess this is a catch-up video. I thought I would make myself a coffee and would sit down and have a talk about the weekly budget because a lot's happened since I last checked in with you guys. The big thing is that I've moved house, so welcome to my kitchen table. I don't know that I'll always be doing my videos here, but this is a lovely, light, bright kitchen. So yeah, I can tattoo around with the angles and stuff, but this might be the new setup, at least for a little while. You can see here I've got my weekly budget that I did when I was considering moving. I needed to figure out what my rent per week, my budget would be for that, and I knew it was going to be an increase on what it was. And I was successful in getting a new place for slightly under budget, which I'm pleased about. So I've just written this down here today. This is for March. So this isn't going to be perfect. This isn't a perfect budget. And I guess the reason I turned the camera on is I thought, actually, that's a good thing to mention. I am very much a recovering perfectionist, and I know that part of my problem with doing a written budget would be that I would spend so much time trying to get it right, correct, down to the very cent, and really not focus on the whole purpose of it, which is just to have a plan and know that things change, sometimes frequently, and you just need to flow with it. But having some sense of a plan is better than not having a plan, or I'm getting onto a plan, or I'm halfway through doing the plan. So, if you're like me, just know that sometimes, especially when you're starting out on your budget journey, you might want to do this more regularly. And then as you feel things stabilize and you've got a handle on it, you can spread out your weekly budgeting. That's been my experience anyway. So let's go through it really quickly. Everything in this top box, the income, has remained the same at the moment, but I am pleased to say I did apply for a job yesterday, so I will keep you posted. Then the bills and fixed expenses was kind of the part of the budget that I could really do the most with. And because we were moving, I shopped around for internet and got a better deal. So I've gone down from $19 a week to $14 a week, there or thereabouts, so around a $5 a week savings. The phone, I had previously switched to a cheaper phone provider just before Christmas, so it's still there at $5. The car insurance remains the same. With life insurance, my life insurance premiums go up every January, they renew. And I knew that there was going to be a price hike, and I looked at how much I was insured for, and I took that policy out when I was married, and my husband and I had a mortgage on a house. So the amount, we didn't get to direct how much it was the bank providing the mortgage required that we both have life insurance policies for the value of the loan, which is pretty standard, but I hadn't looked at reducing that, and just this year I have decided to cut it in half, so a little bit more than half. So now I'm insured for $200,000 instead of $470, I think, and that has made a huge reduction. So my life insurance has gone down to $23 a week, and it was $36, and in January it went up to $42 a week, which just wasn't sustainable for me. I don't have a lot of savings and things to be able to leave my children, and if I became really sick, there's no one else to I'm it supporting us. So I still think it's important if you can afford it, but yeah, that had to go down anyway. Power. I have gone off the estimated power bill. I've been with Power Shop forever, and I really love them, and I'm happy to recommend them to anyone who is considering switching for power, because the customer service is remarkable. It's just what you want it to be. People are friendly, people are efficient, they don't talk a lot of nonsense at you. Their rates and things are very easy to understand. You don't feel like they're giving you a cheaper deal here, but then after 12 months they're going to like hike the prices on you. Anyway, so the power, I've gone off an estimate for this month of $67. Now that's very cheap, but remembering it will be kind of a part month, not a whole month because I moved. But also the good thing about this house is that it has solar panels on the roof, and I've noticed with my PowerShop app that it's got a new feature on it that shows me how much power is being sold back to the grid. Now, I'm not going to be making lots of money off that, but it does tell me that our power bills are being augmented by the sun, which I love. I've never been in that situation before, so I don't know how good of a deal it is, but you know what, I'm just super grateful that they're there, and hopefully will have a little bit of an impact on my budget. That would be fantastic. So I need to tot all of this up and also mention to you that I had a pool membership with the local pool. I love to swim, especially in the last 2 months. I haven't been using it to really justify it. So it's a shame, but I have cancelled it. Doesn't mean I won't go to the pool. But if I'm not going 3 times a week, it's worth just buying admission. Anyway, $23.84 and $33.50. I really hope you can see down the bottom. Yep, I've squished it up enough. So my weekly bills and expenses is running at $727.13. I have another part of that note we'll talk to in a wee minute. So if I put $727.13 and I take that from, I have around $581 to work with. Now, I have set myself a limit this month of $430 to put into my cash envelopes and my wallet every week. It's a little low, but I want to be frugal while we're settling in here. And because, as I'll come to, there were some unexpected expenses, so I am not 100% certain that we will have what I'm putting in here, $150 every week to put into savings challenges. And the change we just leave in the bank, that's the bank rollover. Just so that it zeroes out the budget, so that everything I earn has a place in my budget, even the little bits of change. Okay, so I did mention to you, and if you're a regular watcher of the channel, you'll know I did this budget. My mother passed away at the end of November, and it's through sorting out her affairs. She didn't have a lot of money, my mum, but she had a little bit in her bank accounts and her KiwiSaver, and so each of her kids got a few $1,000s. And I did give you a breakdown of what where I put that. I put the chunk of it, the majority of it, toward moving. And moving was very expensive. I haven't moved in 6 years, so yeah, I was quite blown away with the cost of bond and first week's rent to get into this house was it was not much change out of $4,000. So I feel really grateful that Mum basically facilitated this move, and I know she would have been really, really happy for me. And in another strange turn of events, our actual moving day, that Saturday a couple of weeks ago, Valentine's Day, was my mum's birthday. And my brother helped me move, and we made sure at the end of the day we sat down and had a Nescafe, which was, you know, Mum's favourite coffee, and a chocolate fish. Yeah, and we had a bit of a chat, and so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get sidetracked. Let's have some coffee. So, with that $430, this money here, I've kind of split it out for $280 for. Started doing this, and then I thought, I'll do it on camera, so it might help you see. So the cash money that I get out, $430. Now I've got to decide whereabouts this is going, and this is where I, you know, ultimately get to chop and change every week, respond to circumstances where I'm going to need money the most. I did take a lot of money out of my cash envelopes during the moving process. There were unexpected costs. For example, I've got my hair done yesterday, and I haven't had it done in 6 months, so it took a lot of extra product and extra foils to get it done. So there was an additional $55 that I had to find to give the hairdresser. When we moved, we had an issue with the internet. It actually turned out to be the optical network terminal, the box inside the building. It's not ours, it's Enable's. There was something wrong with that, but I did not know that, and I went out and bought a new router at $85. I haven't returned it because our old router was kind of on the fritz anyway and needed to be replaced, so there's that. We have a fancy schmancy house with a fancy schmancy hob. It's induction. Exactly one of my pots works on it, and it's the enamel milk pot. I'm not kidding you. The smallest pot that I own is the only pot that will work. So, yikes, I had to go to Kmart and buy pots and pans, and I also bought some organisers for inside the pantry. And my laptop died, and it needed a new battery. So I found someone to do that for $165, which is slightly cheaper than taking it into the authorised dealer to get that done. So I'm glad that I did it. I need it for job hunting. Yes, you can do a lot of stuff on your phone, but not really updating CVs and writing cover letters. I need, you know, a computer. Anywho, let us quickly take the $430 minus off $190 for food. Yes, it's a little bit more than I usually budget, but again, moving, there's things that I want to restock, like cleaning stuff in particular. It gives me $130 left to play with, and loosely speaking, I've got 4 binders to look at. So what I'm going to do in this case is kind of go through them and look at the ones that really need some money. This comes with experience, I think, of knowing your budget and knowing what you might need. And again, it won't be perfect, and that's fine. So household still has $30 in it. Beauty, of course, will be empty, but that doesn't need stuffing this week. I might put $10 in household though. My daughter would like a pin board for her room, and there's something else. Oh, she wants a rolling cart to put her art stuff on. So yeah, that's probably going to have to come out of household, not this week. We will wait, we will save. Well-being, how much has that got? Okay, that's got $10. If I put 5 in it, Then clothes, we don't need any clothes. We'll leave it at the moment. Hobbies doesn't need anything. Family fun, I feel like it's 5 weeks till Easter. Right, there's $30 in it. Let's put a measly 5. Gifts is empty. Giving, I kind of want to get this up to $100 so that we can give it 50, 60, 70, 85, 90. Let's put $5 in this week. And then miscellaneous we'll leave alone. I really only stuff miscellaneous if I feel like all the other envelopes are under control. And this is where the grocery buffer goes, and I've currently got it in a pile over here of ones that I need to rub off. So yeah, we'll leave it. I don't know, I have planned a little bit extra there for groceries, so if there's any left over I can slip it in there. Our sinking funds, education, I really need to just keep on keeping on with that. Let's put 10 in, and then at least I get to do colour off an icon because they're $25 and there's 15 in there. Vision we'll leave alone at the moment. Health fund, that's another one I need to wipe off, but I actually need to put $60 in it. Annoyingly, I stuffed my bag, and so I'm going to ACC osteo every 2 weeks. That's really going to reduce the budget quite a lot, isn't it? Let's just do a tot up, see where we are at. $35 left, okay. Dental is problematic. Another thing that happened, oh gosh, I just had the wildest couple of weeks. I was eating a sandwich, obviously quite stressed out because of the moving. One of my fillings fell apart. So I went to my regular dental checkup hoping that she would just do it then, and she's like, no, you have to come back. And she's quoted like $325 to do it. So yeah, I am looking at getting a grant for that. 25, 45, 55, 65, 75, 80. There's only $80 in there in the periodontist in early March, so that's on my list to defer. The cats. My darling Rosie, we had to put down. So my little black cat. Yeah, so there's 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75 left in the cat. So we're down to one little dog and one very noisy, very fluffy cat. And that feels manageable. The kids are like, can we get a kitten? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Car fund. Yeah, we're all right for car fund. I haven't had to touch that. Have I? Haven't I? I need to check. Other thing that happened was that I managed to lose my keys. Poof, just disappeared. And it's one of those key fob things with there's a word for it and it's not coming to mind, but it was a very expensive fob to get replaced, like $1,000. $1,000. I swear to you. I thought I'd packed it in a box. I unpacked it. Was just, yeah. It still hasn't turned up. Thankfully, I was able to do an insurance claim and it only cost me $100. So I put the car thing to the side because I need to double check that I have indeed got the numbers correct in there. Tech, we won't worry about subscriptions. Yeah. Tech got cleaned out, but there wasn't enough to cover the batteries, so the emergency fund came to the rescue on that too. Anyways, with $35 left, let's go Tena dental, Tena cats, nothing for the rest because it's my nephew's birthday next month. And we were thinking about going out for a meal. So what's that? I've got 15. Right, let's go a measly 5 in birthday and skip Christmas because there's $10 left in Easter. Yeah, let's fully fund Easter. And that's my thought, 4:30. Right. Oh, crikey tag. Miss thing. Stop. It's just people getting out of a car. It's really not that bad. Go sit. Go on, go to bed. The dog barked because the neighbours turned up. I guess she thought we were having visitors, but they're not. They're next doors. Look, I hope this was of some value to you. It's sort of more in depth than I usually go. I don't normally turn the camera on until we've got through to this part, but I think if you're starting out with budgeting, it's useful to know that you know, there's the planning phase, then there's getting the money out, and then there's stuffing it. And if that sounds like a lot and overwhelming, bear with it. It gets easier. This part gets easier. You get more of a feel for things, and you really only have to make changes when your lifestyle changes or something comes up that you would like to save for example, right? Dentists. Anywho, I am going to go and pick up the wee boy, the squirrel, from school, and then I will come back and we will stuff that in some envelopes and we'll just get going. Just bear with me though. I think moving just really disrupts your budget, and I think that things might be a little bit kind of fluid for the next month until like the power settles down and, you know, the internet service provider charges me what I think that they're supposed to charge me and all these kinds of things. Yeah, I'm very excited to be in a nicer house, and if you ask nicely, I might give you a little bit of a tour. I will see you in a few days' time. Thank you for being here with me. Leave me a comment below if this is the sort of video that is helpful, or if you've got any questions. I'm happy to try and answer those. Just know that I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do in your specific situation. But I think you know, like we all have it within us to know, to budget, to know. But using a tool like this, super helpful. All right, till next time, kia ora.